If all you have to do is put up a theme that works so that if they access something from their phone, they're not going to be frustrated by it. If all you got to do is set that up and forget it, pretty cool. You know, you're at least not going to be creating ill will with your audience in that respect.
Am I,
Yeah.
although I guess I need to do a search and find out.
Yeah.
Am I creating ill will right now?
Huh?
Am I creating ill will right now?
I don't know. How's your phone look on a mobile site, on a mobile phone?
It's readable on a smartphone,
Yeah?
but it's, it's not.
Okay, if you're not sure, then what I suggest you do is people who have really, really crappy browsers, the really low-end feature phones, they're probably not going to be surfing the web that much unless they get a direct link to something. But people who have a browser like Opera Mini will be checking out the web. So I suggest download Opera Mini, install it on your smartphone because it'll run on your smartphone pretty much the way it runs on a feature phone, and view your site through Opera Mini. And if you do that, then you can start to get a handle on how it displays. And you'll see, Opera Mini, the display is actually pretty nice. And you have some options with how you can format things. You might see some ad revenue options in there that you didn't see. Look at a lot of different sites through Opera Mini and see what they're doing. Other ad-supported sites, not necessarily news sites. And see what they're doing. Yes?
I just wanted to say I have WordPress site, and
Yeah.
it reinforced that it was completely easy. And as a quick and dirty thing on with the way our site is set up with advertising and being concerned about losing the impressions, because our ads are all loaded in text widget boxes, and there's a way to just enable which widgets are going to show. They all show the banner, which with our size banners doesn't look too bad. It's not the best reading way, but they are all at least there. And, you know, so.
And they will show up. And the thing is, if people are on slow data connections, if you have graphical banners, they're going to take longer to download. And more data caps are going to be becoming important. So think about that. I know it's a little extra work to get the text related to the ads. But if you do that, you can probably use that text in a lot of different ways, you know, to increase search optimization related to ads. I want to show you guys something really cool. So there's this guy, Ryan Pitt, and he runs the website for the Spokesman Tribune up in Washington. Ryan Pitts, yeah. He built a mobile website. Now, he built this from scratch. Their site is in Django. So he was able to, you know, to hand code things. Let me make this skinnier. Get rid of some of this other stuff. Okay. And that. And that. Okay. So now we're just looking at, you know, the mobile site for spokesman.com. And something that he included on there, if you go to any story page, they have you know, some banner ads on there. If you click on it, notice it does not take you to the advertiser's site. He built a database, really simple database, where the ad reps from the Spokesman Tribune gather information from the advertisers and basically create a mobile landing page. This is like I was talking about, think about the services you can offer, not just the content you can present. This is going to be a hell of a lot more useful to a person with a cell phone on the go than a little banner ad. Banner ads, people hate them. You know, people don't generally click on them. And in a mobile environment, it's going to be this big. Half the time you can't even see what it's about. People design them poorly. Something like this is phenomenal. It says, it gives you the phone number. Remember, these are phones. If I was on a cell phone right now and I clicked that, you know what? It would place a phone call. Click-to-call advertising is a huge revenue option because typically, especially local vendors, are much more comfortable selling once somebody makes a phone call than dealing with web traffic and responses to web traffic and email. They typically will pay much higher rates for click-to-call advertising. So what did he do? He built in a click-to-call mechanism. You can click to visit their website. It has the email. It has the map. You can include more information about whatever they're advertising, specials, whatever. This kind of stuff It's more work up front for the ad, but you're creating a mobile service. And you know what? This will be better for the local vendors than Yelp because they get to control what's on this page. And you could even sell them a permanent URL, you know, for the mobile landing page if you wanted to. This is something that could be spun off as its own service. And, and since you'd have that much more content related to what the advertiser is offering, you might even be able to match it more directly with the kinds of content that's running on your site. The relevance matching would be easier with an option like this. I love this model. I wish we had this in the Bay Area. I would love to build this for Oakland Local. I'd need to learn more about the technology to be able to do it. But as databases go, it's a simple database that goes into a simple mobile theme. And it works even on crappy little phones, too. And I've tried it out on them. So like I said, he custom built that. I would love it if there was an automated tool, you know, a prepackaged tool that we could do that with. Yeah.
We have had from Steve Yeldington and also from one of my Drupal friends in San Antonio recommendations on Drupal modules that are in the string now.
Ah, yes, thank you. Yeah, and Steve Yeldington knows an awful lot about Drupal. So thanks, Steve. Appreciate that. And I have, with Oakland Local, had a hard time with doing everything we wanted to because of some conflicts with Drupal. So anything you try with Drupal for mobile, do it on a dev server first. Definitely on a dev server, because it can break parts of your regular site, as I found out. OK. A couple more things I wanted to let you know. Just a moment. OK. Hang on. Get down here. OK. So you want to implement the mobile-friendly theme on your site, experiment with SMS. And SMS, remember, it doesn't have to be a long-term thing. You could do it as a special event. It's some big festival coming up or event in your community. Offer to do some services on the day of the event. You know, that's a way you can kind of time box it to try it out to see if people like it and it works. OK, now there's a whole lot of other things that we could talk about. There's no way I could cover all that stuff, so I just wanted to kind of throw these in there. You know, doing your own local mobile market research, I came up with a 5-question survey. I did my own survey the hard way. I made it much easier for you. And I talk about not just the questions you should ask, but how you can put the information you get from your respondents to use in making decisions for your mobile strategy. If you want to learn more about mobile, the things you should educate yourself about, or the technologies you should educate yourself about, are HTML5, cascading style sheets, and that includes something called media queries. Media queries basically make it possible for the site to kind of reformat itself based on the device. So it's like server-side auto detection on steroids. It can get really good at delivering a site that'll work on a device. And e-readers and e-books. Again, these are mostly more immersive experiences, but I want to mention it because it's such a cool market. If you create content and you do a lot of stuff about, say there's a Superfund site in your community, and you do a bunch of coverage about the Superfund site, you might have 50 articles about it scattered through your site, and then a bunch of stuff in your head about how all those articles relate to each other. Wouldn't you like to get more mileage out of that and sell it? There are tools that can help you repackage your web content into ebook formats and market them through all the major ebook stores where you can sell them for actual cash money. And one that you can check out that a friend of mine put together is called Book Brewer, like brewing beer, at BOOKBREWER.com. Dan Pacheco, used to be the Bakersfield Californian, he runs that. And I have a link in my notes. Robert Miles from Online Journalism Review, about a month or so ago, wrote an excellent guide to journalists for putting your content into the ebook market. There are all sorts of options from Kindle singles to, you know, it doesn't have to be the equivalent of a 150-page print book. It can be the equivalent of like a 30-page, you know, booklet. But people will buy it on an ebook market. So think about options to sell. And again, all the ebook platforms have readers that people can use on their phones. And a lot of people actually do in spare moments. If they're reading a book, they'll pick it up on the app on their phone and they'll read it while they're waiting in line at the bus. Geotagging, very important. People carry these things around. They're mobile. They're going all over the place. And although locally geo-relevant content is in its infancy right now, it is going to get big over the next couple of years. The way you can get ready for that is to put into your content management system fields where you can record a latitude and longitude associated with every piece of content. If you do that now, then by the time geolocated content gets big, you'll have an archive of geotag content. The tools to actually do the geotagging vary. Some of them are easy to use, some of them are ugly. What I like are ones where you can have a map or a preset series of maps, and you can just put a pin on the map, and it records that latitude and longitude and say, we're going to use that as the center point for this story. And sometimes it's easier to determine than others. Like with us in the city of Oakland, if we're covering a city hall issue, well, it affects all of Oakland. How do we represent that in geotagging? That's something that we're wrestling with.